When I first heard you talk in Vegas, I heard your story. And the reason why it clicked in my mind is there are a lot of people in tech, they work 8 to 5 jobs or 6 to 10 p.m. jobs, 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. jobs. A lot of my colleagues, I know they do that. They don't need to necessarily exit tech, but they can also pursue important projects that will fulfill their lives and can go beyond their day job. Maybe they're not like you or me and doing this full time and making a profession out of it, but what would be some advice you would want to give to some tech professionals on LinkedIn for them to make authentic, genuine connections and expand their digital footprint? At least if that's even a term.
First and foremost, a lot of people don't want to hear this. A lot of corporations don't want me to come talk because I'll say things like this. Most people are very replaceable. And what makes you irreplaceable is basically if you can be a celebrity within the company. Mm-hmm. You have to build a personal brand. Because if you build a personal brand and something happens, do you think it's going to be easier to find a role? Now, granted, nothing's going to replace your skill set, but your personal brand's going to warm people to actually take the call with you and see your skill set. Everyone seems to have a good resume. Everyone seems to talk a great game. But if you develop something online on LinkedIn, you start a personal brand on LinkedIn, or you begin a blog, or you begin a video series, or you on the side just for fun do research and do research reports. One thing I've been encouraging, and AI's never made it easier, you can interview 100 people, let's say. And if you're really lazy like me, you just get the 100 people to fill out a form answering 3 essential questions. Then you take the data of 100 people answering 3 essential questions and you write a 20-page report on what C-suites in tech think about X. You've got a 20-page report based on 100 people. Then you've got a keynote, what I learned from interviewing 100 C-suites in tech. You've got a long report. You can turn it into a 1-pager that becomes a leave behind. You met 100 people. Let's say you're selling a product and you wanted to get in the door. Now you're in the door with these people. You've built a little bit of trust. You can hand this report back to everybody that was involved. And you can use that report as a speaking tool anytime you're having conversations. Now, that report might have nothing to do with your current 9 to 5 or realistically 8 to 11. And then if you're like me, you're still thinking about it when you're laying in bed, like, oh, and the best things come in the shower. Like, if you're developing a personal brand, personal thought leadership, if you're creating something on the side, it's just going to make you sexier for your current employer to be like, wow, this is a person in leadership. This is a person that we want to be the face of the company. Or if you don't want to be the face, that's quite all right. This is the person that is behind the face of the company, the one that makes it all possible. But more important than anything, if your job for whatever reason is insecure and you were to get let go, you're going to be an attractive candidate to a better role. You got let go for a reason. You'll find a better role, and it's because you have this resume, this personal brand, this thought leadership that you built on your own behalf, and the other candidate didn't. So whether you want to be an entrepreneur, it's going to help you make money. If you're in sales or revenue or marketing, it's going to help drive attention to your business. But even if you're behind the scenes, it just makes you a higher value employee for any business you work for. That's my opinion. Corporations don't want me to come and tell that because then everybody's swapping roles all day, but it really makes you irreplaceable in a world where you kind of are replaceable.
Right, no, 100%. I wish I had these golden nuggets before when I was in corporate, but it's never too late. What would be your advice to these tech professionals who are considering, oh, you know what, this is a good idea. Ben said, I should create my own personal brand, especially engineers. Analysis paralysis is our best friend. We go through a lot of that, right? Unless it's perfect, we don't publish it. We don't bring it into production. What happened? What advice do you have for professionals? Get started and let's see what happens. So what's your advice?
I mean, you just gave it. And I'll go to the classic Nike cliche, just do it. Just do it. And I'd add, do it sloppy. Figure it out. Be a scientist. Be a researcher. Test things. Have fun with it. At the end of the day, if it's not fun, you're not going to do it anyways. So enjoy the process. Just do it. Why is Nike so popular? You could say Michael Jordan's actually part of why they're so popular. He blew the brand up, but they just went and got Michael Jordan. They just do it. I don't want to overcomplicate it because it actually isn't complicated. We'll find ways to complicate it as we go. But if you think, I'm a scientist, I'm observational, I'm going to go just try things. And the second piece of advice I'd add is don't turn off the ads. Don't swipe away the automation. Actually be a student of the craft and see what your competitors are doing. See everything as inspiration. When I see a message with a poorly automated thing, I'm not overly angry. I actually see it as inspiration. Part of me wants to get preachy and be like, that's not the way to do it. But be a student of the craft. Don't turn off your brilliant mind, but seek examples everywhere you go. At the end of the day, don't get lost in the analysis paralysis of the examples. Go and just start your potion.
I see. Love it. Golden nuggets right there.
It's easier done than said, in my opinion. You just do it. Just doing it is just doing it. Is it that complicated? We can talk about doing it, but you just do it.
I see.
If that makes any sense. The best way to turn a light on is to flick the switch. It's not to sit back with a shoelace and tie the shoelace and try to throw the shoelace and pull the switch with the it's not as complicated as we make it. We can make it complicated if we want to make it fun, but the switch will flick the moment we touch it upwards.
Wow.
We just need to touch it upwards.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I want to be respectful of your time, Ben. This has been amazing. I'm honored. It means the world to me to have you on this podcast, and thank you for being here.
Dude, thanks for having me. You send me a DM. Anyone listening, send me a DM. Tell me I'm an idiot, because at the end of the day, I'm just learning, but I like talking to people like you, Suraj, and I like your audience because I've got lots of ideas, but without the skill set and the brilliancy, none of the ideas can come to fruition. So that's why I'm just honored to share the stage with brilliant people.
Thank you so much. And thank you everyone who dialed in. And we're going to have another podcast next week. Ben, love to see if you can join, and everyone else. Stay tuned for more amazing stuff from Ben and also from me from GROUNOW. Thank you, Ben. Have a great day.